It's a new platform for videos as well. Thank you so much for tuning in one more day. I am Neni Carolina Chacin, and I am a professional jazz and gospel singer. I am also a life and business coach that teaches people how to optimize your life and automate your business. And I teach marketing strategies, online business strategies, process automation, life strategies to optimize your performance. And I'm a 360-degree coach, and I have a lot of good information and news to share with you today. But before I start, I host these lives from Tuesday to Saturday to sing and coach you, because I am a singer. So what I do is I sing so that I can motivate you guys and get in the mood and start reflecting with the lyrics of the songs and with my voice about the things that I'm going to talk. And this whole week, thank you so much for tuning in, those who are tuning in and those who watched in the replay. This is a week honored to the fathers. So I dedicated this week to honor the fathers and to talk about all the different anecdotes and lessons and wisdom from the fathers, my father figures, and all the people that we have learned from. And because the Father's Day is coming up.
Press enter on your remote control and select the device you want to view.
The monitor speaks up to me. Hold on, I'll be back.
Power off.
Yes, I have speech. Anyway, so here we are. Another episode of Songversation where I sing and I coach at the same time. And I always like to start off with a song. And for those who are tuning in the replay, thank you so much for watching in advance. And here we go. This song is in Spanish, and it's called Ana y Miguel, and it's about a fabule about the rocks and the seashore of the world. And it's about how the sea fell in love with a girl on the shore. It's one of my favorite songs from my favorite band growing up called Mecano. Ana Torroja is one of my favorite pop singers from Spain, and she inspired me to sing and be the leader of the pop band where I was in Venezuela. And I always dreamed to be on stage where she was, and in fact, I actually did. So anyway, here we go. So like I said, this is a fabule about the ocean and the seashore and a couple, and about love, of course. No ha salido el sol y Ana y Miguel ya prenden llamas. Ella sobre el hombre y mujer deshacen la cama, y el mar que está loco por Ana prefiere no mirar. Los celos no perdonan ni al agua, ni a las algas, ni a la sal. Al amanecer está Miguel sobre su barca. Dame un beso, amor, y espera quieta junto a la playa. Y el mar murmura en su lenguaje: maldito pescador, despídete de ella. No quiero compartir su corazón. Y llorar, y llorar, y llorar por él. Y esperar, y esperar, y esperar de pie a la orilla que vuelva Miguel. Dicen en la aldea que esa roca blanca es Ana, cubierta de sal y de coral. Lo espera en la playa No esperes más, niña de piedra, Miguel no va a volver, el mar le tiene preso por no querer cederle a una mujer. Y llorar, y llorar, y llorar por él, y esperar, y esperar, y esperar de pie a la orilla que vuelva Miguel. That's the story of a fable where the ocean is in love with her, and as he says goodbye to her in his boat, as a fisherman, he says, he's not going to, don't wait for him because he's not going to come back. I am going to take him away from you. And then the fabule says that the corals, and she's turned into a stone, that the corals and the calcium has covered her in white and coral, waiting for him because he loved him so much. She just stayed in the shore waiting for him, and that turned her into a rock. Sometimes when we leave our families to go far away, our parents always love us and wait for us, like that love story. And I wanted to talk about that because I wanted to tell you more stories that I've been sharing about my family and my parents, specifically the relationship with my father. And like I said, sometimes we leave and they're always waiting, and we don't understand why they want us so much with them, and they don't understand why we want to leave so much. And you can equate this in business, like you want to stay with the mother comfort, right? Like with the father comfort of a corporation or a job, and the corporation doesn't understand sometimes why do you want to leave. Like, I am nurturing you, I'm giving you a salary, I'm giving you this, but they say, no, I have other entrepreneurial ideas, and I want to leave this father protection, and I want to leave to enjoy and also learn and develop on my own, so that I can also appreciate the effort that they have done, right? So sometimes we can see what we leave. We have to leave the shore, and we have to go into the unknown. We have to go into a storm, in a perfect storm. There was this perfect storm that happened here in the 80s, in the early 90s. That was a connection between different kinds of things happening in the air, with the low pressure and the high pressure and all the north and the south winds and the currents, and it created a perfect storm to be in a place where you couldn't recover from that storm. But in fact, sometimes we go into the storms and we learn a lot about these storms that we're living right now. We're living in the same storm. And today I was listening to a Coach Mark Anthony Bates, and he was saying, we're all in the same storm, but we're not in the same boat. And it's so true, because each one of us has different tools, have different boats. Some are made out of plexiglass, some are made out of wood, some are made out of metal. So what is your boat made out of? That boat is made out of whatever you learned in your childhood and whatever you've been preparing until now. All the things that you have experienced, all the wisdom that has been transmitted to you by your family and your friends and your colleagues and your fellow student mates, and all the experiences you had in business, all the experiences you had at work and with your friends. And that boat that has become your body, and all the things that you have eaten, right, throughout the life, and how much movement and exercise you have developed, or fitness, right? So because of that, it has made a special boat. And that special boat has sailed into this perfect storm. It's a perfect storm of economic craziness, because it's not even good or bad. It's economic craziness, curfews and things, and a lot of changes in the outside world, a lot of new norms, a lot of new rules, a lot of new roles, protests, social unrest. There's a perfect storm of economic, social, spiritual, and there's a lot of things fighting with each other, right? Different currents, like black and white and racism and social changes. There's a lot of things coming together, right? Like that perfect storm, but you have your own boat. So make sure that your boat can stay ashore and can survive the storm. And sometimes we get into this comfort zone, but maybe we're just in the eye of the storm. And the eye of the storm might be very still. You're like a mouse when it's spotted, and the mouse stays like hiding, like super freezing, like stop. I have a little baby rabbit, and whenever I call him out, he's like doesn't move, just to blend with the sand, because he knows that as soon as I spot him, I can catch him. The same thing is with life. Don't freeze, because you may be in the eye of the storm and you may be frozen like that just looking, but do something better. Just run to all the different opportunities that you have right now. You can run to the shore. You can run to the different opportunities to get some help. You can prepare that boat. You can load the boat with ammunition. Maybe you're in the middle of the storm and you need to load the boat with fishes that you're seeing around you. So it's the same, as above, so below. Life is really about lessons that we can't even imagine how many lessons we can learn from nature itself. And if you just take one thing and you see it objectively, it does apply to your life. And that's how I'm able to get all these ideas and all this inspiration for you, because I know that as above, so below. So when you are in a boat out in the middle of the storm, whether if you're in an eye or if you have to get that boat really strong, you have to repair all the different gaps so that the water doesn't get in. You have to fuel the engine so that you can go forward. It's the same analogy for your life. Doesn't matter what you learn from your father. Doesn't matter if your father's waiting on the shore. Just tell him, I'll be back. I'll be back as soon as my boat is strong, as soon as I can weather this storm, this perfect storm that is out there affecting all of us, right? Like it's going, but the opportunities are there. You can just cast a wide net, like the fisherman, a wide net. And then once you take all the different things, just be out there and send all your nets out so that you can catch as much fish as you can, so that you can weather the storm, so you can stay in that storm and survive for days, for months, or whatever this thing is going to last. They say that this is not even equivalent to the 2008 situation that we had. It's a completely different thing, but they say it's a really challenging thing. So if you're going to stay weathering the storm for a long time, you need to catch a wide net, reach out and get your boat really strong. How? By eating the right stuff, getting fit, doing some movement every day. I do every single day. I try to make sure that I am fed properly several times and to have enough fuel so that I can deliver this message, so I can study. This morning I was on a 3 or 4, I think 9, 10, 11, 4-hour training for buying and selling businesses. How can I survive that? Well, because I'm fueling myself. I eat well before the class. I did some calls, some collaboration calls with Europe. In fact, 2 of them led to some amazing coaching and some amazing collaborations that are going to be happening. One is going to happen next Friday. I'm going to do a special seminar and webinar with one of my friends and collaborators in Germany. It's going to be From Cancer to Vitality webinar. You're going to hear all about it later. And another one with the UK, a singer and coach, where we're going to show you what it is to be creative and be in business. We can teach you some stuff. So I'm always working. It's a Saturday, but still I am working and trying to deliver and trying to nourish myself. And this morning I'm studying and I'm meditating and I'm moving and doing exercises, and I'm doing my elastic bands to get my arms still strong. They haven't gotten bad, and doing push-ups and everything. So make sure you take care of yourself. I'm going to sing another song for you, because I know these ones on Saturday, I know they are more of a concert format. The next song I wanted to sing to you is called Love Is All. And this is originally sang by this German guy called called Engelbert Humperdinck. And if I remember well, this was a German song composed by some pop German band, and they made it like really good. But then some other person adapted it to English. This guy, Engelbert Humperdinck, he actually performed it at some, at the time, in the 60s or 70s, he performed it in a voice show, in a competition, and it won the best song. So these are #1 songs at the time, but talks about love. And the reason I'm segueing between the business and rocking your boat and preparing your boat in the perfect storm that we're living right now is because you don't have anything without the love. So as you know, this is the fathers, honoring the fathers, and the love of our parents. It's an unconditional love. It's the only unconditional love that we can really experience as human beings, for real, in the flesh. If you're able to have your own children, you can feel that unconditional love, that you will love this person no matter what. And so that's why I wanted to segue and sing this song for you, segueing the strength and preparing your vote to honoring the love of our parents, which is unconditional. God's love is unconditional, and our parents' love is unconditional. They may not be perfect, but they do truly feel an unconditional love, with all their defects and all the different limitations and all the different mentality or knowledge that they have that doesn't agree with you or agrees with you. They have unconditional love. So here's the song called Love Is All. This song is also in my CD, Paris 2, which I recorded with David Herridge, a pianist from the UK that lives in Paris. You can find it in all the recording stores. You can find in my website, Automate Your Success Coaching. All right. So, yesterday I knew the games to play. I thought I knew the way life was meant to be. But now there's you. My foolish games are through. Now at last I have found just what makes this whole world turn around. Love is all I have to give. Love is all as long as I shall live. So take it all, and I'll always be there when you call my name. I know now that love is all. Every night I long to hold you tight until the morning light shines in your eyes. So love me now, we'll get along somehow. Won't you please take my hand, and together forever we'll stay. Love is all I have to give. Love is all as long as I shall live. So I'll take it all, and I'll always be there when you call my name. I know now that love is all. I hope you like that song. It's one of my very favorites recently, and that's why I wanted to record it for my CD last year that I released in April last year, called Paris too. You can find it as a single on Spotify, on iTunes, iMusic, Amazon, Deezer, everywhere where there's digital music, you can find it there. So going to that segue, like love is really what fuels. Like if you don't love your clients, if you don't love the things that you're doing just for the love of it, they say, right? Just for the love of it. Like if you don't love business just by love itself, then you won't be able to succeed as an entrepreneur because you'll be fighting it all the time. Of course, you know that you have to love yourself, right? And loving yourself means taking care of yourself. But taking care of yourself also means taking care of the knowledge that you have for your profession. Taking care of yourself also means feeding your brain and feeding your intellect, as well as feeding your spirituality and feeding your body, right? But nothing makes sense unless you give it all. So you love who you are, what you do. And sometimes we don't like a task that maybe you don't want to do accounting, or maybe you love doing accounting, but you don't want to do the selling. You don't want to speak. You don't want to present. You don't want to create videos. You don't want to do content creation. You don't want to do marketing. You don't like doing that. Maybe you don't like these tasks per se, but you have to love the process. You have to love the process of learning. Imagine how great you will feel to know that you can actually learn. And some of these things are not that difficult. I was just having a conversation this morning where I was saying, don't be afraid of technology. Loving life and loving yourself is about loving what comes to you, loving what is, right? It's loving the present moment, loving that you have to clean, loving that you have to eat and prepare the food, otherwise you won't eat, or order something, right? Loving every second that you're alive to be able to even call an order. It's a special moment of gratitude that you can transfer into your business. So loving to call a client so that you can actually deliver a service that's going to make a difference and help others, it's a very good feeling. So when you think about selling, if you want to change your mentality, your mindset, you can transform it and say, I am sharing my love to other people that need my service. Because sometimes we think, it's like I'm selling something, I'm imposing. You're not imposing. People need you. Everybody needs you right now. Everybody needs your service and your products because we are in this perfect storm like I was talking about. And so when you involve the love in your business, then you can say, you know what? I'm going to call 10 clients today, 10 new clients, because they are going to need my help and they are going to benefit from my services. Hello there from Paris. I think you're in Paris. Yes, somebody's joining in on Instagram. Thank you for logging in on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitch, on Periscope. So this is what we need. We need to do the love into our business. So when we say, I'm going to do this with love, and then when you start generating, for example, learning how to do some marketing on Facebook, how to do a paid campaign on Facebook. The first person that did the paid campaign had to do it from scratch and had to figure it out. There's no school for that. There's no training. Right now you can buy some training here and there, but they just show you how to navigate through forms. So it's nothing. You can just do it on don't be afraid of technology. And if you do it with love, say, this is love, this is for me, because I'm going to be able to reach more people, and I'm going to get my service to other people, because you're sharing the love, sharing your talents, whatever your talents you are, whatever business and service and products that you have, and then you're going to reach better. And so that's going to transform the mindset into a gratitude mindset, into a loving mindset, and it's going to make you more motivated and inspired to do these tasks that you may not like. For example, understand and learn how to do Facebook marketing. Now, the first time that I had to do it, of course, there was nothing. I did it when it started. You just go through the screens, but they change this every single week, every single month. All the forms that you have to fill, there's more things. Hey, look, there are more things that they add. So there's always new things to learn. So because of this, you don't have to be afraid, because everybody is learning together with you. When you try to do a live stream, there are so many, whoever's watching right now on the replay or live on my YouTube and on my Facebook, Periscope, and Twitch, they can see that I have captions. I have simultaneously streaming to all these platforms. And how did I learn that? Well, I had to figure out what are the things that are there and test them. So test. It doesn't hurt at all to go there for 5 minutes and start, you just play. You don't have to do it by itself, right? To do a campaign on Facebook. You just go through the things, and then once you have to pay, then you don't pay, and then you just play with it. Play with the technology to see how comfortable you are, and try to do something small. Don't try to run before you crawl. Don't try to run before you crawl. It's very important. Just do one thing and do access. Want to do a phone call? Well, do 2 phone calls if it pains you. And then until you get used to it, and then you reach out to your clients, you reach out to your clientele and your customers, and then you can grow little by little. First, figure out, I've been telling my clients, figure out how to do, maybe generate 20 in a consistent basis, 50 in a consistent basis, 100 in a consistent basis. Once you figure out how to do that, then you can start growing and growing. Sure, you can always have growth in a 10,000 and 1,000 if you can, is perfect. But figure out how to get that money consistently, because the consistent and the persistency of things is where you can have a steady growth and you can count on a life that you deserve and that you want. Because otherwise, if you get 1,000 here one time and you don't know how to reproduce that, then it doesn't make sense, right? You want to be able to generate whatever money that you generate in a consistent basis throughout the year and year after year. So, for example, if you want to make 1 million, and I know that's like a big number out there, or maybe not, maybe it's not a big number, but if you want to make 1 million, how do you consistently generate 1 million every single year? So the effort to get to the first million may be X, Y, and Z, but then what happens if you get to that first million and then the next year, you don't know how to sell that again, because the same people that just bought your product and services, maybe they're not going to buy the same amount again. Maybe yes, maybe not. But you have to think about these things. And so once you get that consistency of every month generating this amount, then you know the formula. So that's the thing. And whenever you do the tasks for your business, it's all really infused with the love and gratitude. If you don't put the love and gratitude in any of your tasks that you're doing for your business, it doesn't feel the same. I'm telling you, for my experience, it doesn't really feel the same. And it gives you more motivation to know that whatever you're doing, I'm working on a Saturday, doing the live for you, giving you content and giving you information, because I love giving my service. It's my purpose, my life's purpose. So if you can find, if your life purpose is to do a particular service or product, just be so happy to give it day and night. And there's always time to recharge, and I do recharge. I recharge a little bit in between my 4-hour class and this Songversation. I prepared and everything, but you have to have it rolling and let yourself recharge every single day, so that you always are ready to go in that really strong boat, the boat that is going to not sink during the big storm, the perfect storm that we're living right now. So that's one of the things. So I'm going to sing another song. How many of you thought that you had the perfect Valentine? So many times. I'm going to sing to you this Nat King Cole song that he made famous called My Funny Valentine, and now we'll talk a little bit about that. My funny Valentine, sweet comic Valentine, you make me smile with my heart. Your looks are laughable, unphotographable, yet you're my favorite work of art. Is your figure less than Greek? Is your mouth a little weak when you open it to speak? Are you smart but But don't change a hair for me. Not if you care for me. Stay, little Valentine. Stay. Each day's a Valentine's Day. Sometimes that love becomes obsessive. Love becomes obsessive and we are in love with something that is not perfect. And then our Valentine goes away. So this, to segue this into our fathers and the business, is that sometimes we idealize certain things. Our fathers may idealize what they were expecting from us. We idealize what we expect from others in return as well. Not in return because they do it, but we also do it just as much as they do for other people, right? So sometimes we love something and then we don't recognize that we're loving the wrong thing. And it's the same thing in business. Sometimes we are in love with an idea of our business and we don't really realize that our business doesn't really work in that way. That we have to change it, we have to pivot, we have to restart, we have to transform what we are doing. I changed my business from chasing dreams to success this year, thanks to my coach, JT Fox, to automate your success coaching. I need to reinvent myself. I need to reinvent because the storm is still going and we have to strengthen our boat and make it the right type of boat for the right type of storm, right? So we are in love sometimes with, because it has my name and we're attached to something. Oh, I created it. It was very creative. I did come up with that name after going to one of his events because I played with the names, Success, Chasing Dreams to Success. But he rebranded me as Automate Your Success Coaching. And that works a lot better because it tells you in one name, for example, that I am a software engineer that automates processes and can teach you about technology at the same time in the business as branding, as marketing, you see? So sometimes we're in love, we have this Valentine love for the things that we do, and we don't grow because we don't let go of that in love phase with the things that we do or the business that we do, the business that we have, the way things we do, the way we do things. And the same thing, we have to cut ties and understand that even if our fathers are expecting us to do something a certain way, that they're also in love that way. And then we have to just move on and do the things the way that is most beneficial for us, the way that is more beneficial so that people can get the best service. And this, if you have the right values with you, if you have a value of integrity, of honesty, if you have write down your values, and if that translates into your business, then you can actually have more efficiency in the sales and the marketing and everything, because everything will be tied, and the people that you reach out will feel your honesty and will feel the truthfulness of your true servitude. We are here in this world to serve. We are here in this world to live an experience. That's what the conclusion that I have come up with after my 51 years, humble 51 years of experience. And my different near-death experiences that I've had, I can tell you, and from the things that I've read from my spiritual advisors, mentors, and coaches, that we are here to serve. We are here to unite and serve others. That we are here for us, yes, because we are here to learn and to evolve into a better being. And maybe better is not the right word. It's just learn some things that we didn't learn before, or learn something and be the best that we can be our own best potential, develop our potential, right? So maybe we are in this world for that, for ourselves, but also you develop this best potential and you develop yourself and you evolve to serve others. There's no point of me being isolated in a corner, developing my best potential for myself and not interact with anybody else. We are here to grow. We are here to serve. We are here to grow, and we are here to serve. Those are the two things that I have learned in my life that I'm here for, that I know why I'm here for. And I know why I survived cancer in 2004. Day after day, year after year, whenever I interact with a new person, whenever I see something new, whenever I learn something new, I grow, I realize, this is why I didn't die in 2004. This is why I'm here. So I can talk to these people and make a difference, so that I can reach out and make a difference. And this is what I would like you to know with all your being and translate it into your business. Because when you are honest and when you really are transparent and do it like that, your business becomes so abundant. Whenever I've offered my help, I always get a sale. I always get a compensation to grow my life and to build my wealth and the life that I want and deserve. Yes, sometimes it's been difficult. Sometimes it's been down in money, cash flow, up in cash flow. The cash flow, you don't have to attach your identity with how much money you have in your bank. Because some of the people, like even Robert Kiyosaki, said that he is $1 billion in debt. And then I heard the other day a Grant Cardone, also another millionaire, he says, right now I'm broke. Broke in the sense that he has invested all his cash into property. So the fact that he has everything invested doesn't mean that he's broke. And maybe he doesn't have a lot of cash to have some food. I'm sure he does. But what I'm saying is that your identity is not attached to the ups and downs of your cash flow. That if you have some asset, if you have something to work with, even if it's just your knowledge, you are rich. And you just have to take that and put it to produce. You have to produce your knowledge, make your knowledge produce for you, make it generate the resource that's going to give you the life that you want and deserve. Sometimes the resources are not in money itself. Sometimes, for example, Mother Teresa, she's dead now, but she raised so many billions. She raised a ton of money. So was she rich or was she poor? Did she have to buy food? No, she never had to buy food. Did she actually have to pay rent and buy a property? No. Did she actually have to buy a car? No, she didn't have to. She was provided food and rent and a place to stay always. She was always fed. She was always somewhere to sleep, to wash, to have, and she was living the life that she wanted and deserved. And she helped and used all the money that she could. She was a great fundraiser. She was a great businesswoman to raise capital. And she rose capital to give to others. Did she need to have a big account for herself? No, she didn't need much. So the same thing, I'm not saying that you don't have to, you have to be like in the minimum, but you do whatever you want with your resources, and the resources don't have to be in capital to be in your bank account. Let alone, why do you need a bank account? So it's really interesting how our mindset can really trick us into getting things in a certain way. I'm going to sing another song for you called another song from the Cole family, Non Dimenticar. Don't forget. And the secret for your own value, if you attach your value, like I said, if you attach your value to the material things, then you haven't really found your value. We are more than that. We are something special that you need to connect with. And when you connect with that, your business actually flows much better, because it's completely, their integrity and your transparency is going to show. And that way you can interact with your clients in a much better frame of mind, in a much higher conscious frame of mind to give, and you will receive the same way. You have to do all the things that you have to do for sales, for marketing, to reach out to them and price things. Right now we're trading in dollars, in money, in fiat currencies. So because of that, then you put a price to your things. But you can also trade in other things. You can say, okay, so I'll trade you that I'll live in your house for a year. You can be creative like that. Like, I'll give you coaching for a year if you let me live in your vacation house for a year. Why not? I'll leave you if you buy my groceries for all year. I don't know. See, you can be creative, and resources don't always have to be fiat currencies. So this song, Non Dimenticar, is by Natalie Cole, with a version of Natalie Cole. It's one of my favorite singers. She also died. It's hard to love a singer that hasn't died. I have one. Harry Connick Jr. is one of my favorite jazz and gospel. He's also sings beautiful Southern music. I love Harry Connick Jr. I follow him. I've been to his master classes in person here in Boston, and I love his servitude. I love his true humbleness to teach all the students that he was teaching here for free, all of us at New England Conservatory of Music. And Harry is one of the people that I would say embodies this true honesty, true integrity, to be transparent and have this feeling of servitude to work in his business, in his music business. So here is Non Dimenticar. Non dimenticar means don't forget you are my darling. Don't forget to be all you mean to me. Non dimenticar, my love is like a star, my darling. Shining bright and clear, just because you're here. Please do not forget that our lips have met, and I've held you tight, dear. Was it dreams ago? My heart felt this glow, but only just tonight, dear. Non dimenticar, although you've traveled far, my darling. It's my heart you own, so I'll wait alone. Non dimenticar. Se si separó, so se si allontanò, ala del destino. Non ne ho complano e mi sentirò sempre a te vicino. Non dimenticar, although you travel far, my darling. It's my heart you own, so I'll wait alone. Non dimenticar. Don't forget that in life, what's truly true reveals in the end. Don't forget that your parents and your fathers are always there in your heart and in your life to receive you with love, even if you don't understand them, even if they don't understand you. And many people have served as fathers, mentors, that at the end give you this fatherly wisdom that you can look up to. Even my coach, sometimes he is really like the father of all the clients. He takes care of us. If he's truly honest, if he's truly to serve us, if his true intention is to help, to serve his clients, then a real coach is really like a father. If it's a male, obviously, and if it's a female, of course, it's like a mother. And these feelings of family, we can feel it with people that are not family. And sometimes family is not what we expect, but we receive what we think family should be from friends, even clients, or acquaintances, or colleagues, or student mates. And they're there for us. They're friends that are forever, and they feel like family. I have a friend, a very special friend. I want to give a shout out to Kristen Jensen Mandia. She's my best friend, and she's like my sister, my true sister. She was my first roommate here in Boston when I arrived she wasn't my first roommate that I roomed with, but when I moved on my own, I interviewed many, many people, and I said, I'm not going to have a bad roommate. I'm going to pick the best roommate ever. And I picked her out of tons of girls that came into my place to check it out, interviewed them all, and I picked her, and we have been like sisters ever since. I was the maid of honor for the wedding, and her husband is a photographer who actually, some of the pictures that you've seen of me throughout the years, he was my photographer in Boston. Now they're in California, and during this COVID-19, they are like family. And they have been talking to me every single week. They talked to me and helped me out and lended a hand last year when I was really struggling going back from Paris to Boston and trying to fix some issues with the house rentals and all the Airbnb stuff that was going on. And they were out there. And I want to give her a shout out, Kristen Jensen Mandia, and she is a communication director in California, and we've been in touch. And when these are people that are like family, and that's why I was talking that sometimes you have friends that are like family, and you should treat them like family and expect them like family. So some fathers can be, this week where we're honoring our fathers, some men in your life have been like a father figure. And let me see. I think I have a cousin right now joining on Instagram. Hello, Anita, and she's in Florida. And we share the same grandfather. So sometimes we learn from our fathers and our grandfathers and the stories from our family. And we learn certain values like hardworking, work ethic, like trying to pivot and trying to change. I told you stories throughout the week about how my grandfather changed, from working for the Shell company to becoming a taxi driver to becoming the tobacco and alcohol smuggler of the town at the time of the Prohibition, and then to turn into a businessman for gas stations, and then a real estate property investor, and how my dad also grew up in a different condition, and all these things that we've learned from our fathers and our grandfathers, they're actually wisdom that we carry in our genes. And we can actually tap into that wisdom. We can tap into the positive things of the legacy that we have in our genes. And we can always change our genes. We don't have to. We don't have to follow the same thing. How we can change our genes? That's a big secret. But they've actually, the epigenetics, the study of the epigenetics, it's been now a topic in the medical world, and they've discovered how when you change the proteins that are around your DNA, they're able to turn off or turn on certain genes that you came with. And there's the outside layer of the DNA, the one that turns on and off certain things, and you don't have to actually live what the genes are here, but with the genes that came with you. The genes that came with you, they don't have to activate the way it came, is what I'm saying. And those proteins around, actually, they discovered that they change depending on the food that we eat and the mood and the stress. So imagine if you have a genetic makeup in your mind, in your feelings, in your body, and with the change of mindset, with the studies and with everything, and getting a coach that can guide you in the mindset and the strategies for life to optimize it, you can actually change those things, and eating the right stuff for you can change the way your genes function. So a person that has a diabetic gene, like I have a diabetic gene from my mom's father, he was diabetic, but it doesn't need to turn on in my life. I don't have a cancer gene, a cancer inherited gene, I don't have it, but if I had a baby, that baby doesn't have to have that inheritance of the cancer that I had, because if they eat well, if they change their mindset, then they don't have to turn on that thing. There's so many different things that we can do by changing everything from the inside out and from the outside in, that can change our genetic makeup, and whatever we inherited from our grandfathers and our grandfathers that we don't like, we don't have to turn on, but we can turn on, and we can use the positive things that we learned, all the different lessons, all the fears that we inherited. We also inherited all the different positive things. My grandfather was very charming, and they say that I am charming as well. When I talk, I can sweet talk, right? Maybe I inherited that from my grandfather. My grandmother was into the occult and all the different things, so I inherited maybe my curiosity for that, and I can develop different senses. So take the positive things to optimize your life, to be the best that you can be. So, and lastly, I'm going to leave you. We have just a few minutes. I'm going to leave you with this song in Spanish called Reloj. And the song is called Reloj, which means clock. Because there's no time to waste. There's no time to waste. Reloj, no marques las horas, porque voy a enloquecer. Ella se irá para siempre cuando amanezca otra vez. No más nos queda esta noche para vivir nuestro amor. Y tu tic-tac me recuerda mi irremediable dolor. Reloj, detén tu camino, porque mi vida se apaga. Ella es la estrella que alumbra mi ser. Yo sin tu amor no soy nada. Detén el tiempo en tus manos. Haz de esta historia noche perpetua, para que nunca se vaya de mí, para que nunca amanezca. Time. Time, you can never get time back. This is the time. The now is the time to change. The now is the time to do what you need to do to prosper, to get some help from a coach, to go out there and don't waste any second of your life. It's Saturday. It's nice. It's beautiful. Enjoy, but also feed yourself, feed your mind, feed your spirit, feed your connections, feed everything that you can feed with the things that are going to make you grow, with the relationships that are going to support you and make you grow. This is the time. This is the unique time that you have. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're watching this on the replay, leave a comment, hit the like button, share it. Thank you so much for watching on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Periscope and Twitch. And I hope I see you again. I think we're going to change a little bit of the format next week. I'm going to let you know what the format will be, but I may do some podcasts instead and share the podcast with you, and maybe some videos. I'll do a fewer lives. I'll do some lives. I'll do the podcast, and I have this special event. I have 3 special events coming up next Friday. It's going to be with Michelle Davis, an amazing doctor for vitality and beauty. We're going to do a special class for you, a free class on from cancer to vitality. It's going to be an amazing course for you from Germany and Boston. We're going to get together. I love that she speaks German, my favorite language. So we have that on next Friday. We will do a live and we will share. And then I have a special show where coaches and artists together, Velody and me, are going to give you a special live. That's going to be maybe the next week. And then in July, I have an Instagram, how to monetize Instagram and how to increase your sales through Instagram, how to present and everything. That is July 21st, I think, July 21st, and that's from Australia and Boston. So imagine, it's all around the world. Australia, the media queen has collaborated with me. I'm so proud. Media shout out to Aldwin, and I met at Mega Success with JT. Anyway, media queen Aldwin, the doctor, the best doctor ever, Michelle, and Velody, the coach and singer, fellow coach and singer. We're going to do some things for you. So this is coming up the next week. Oh, and I forgot to tell you, I just released a new single, which is not a new song, but it is a new single out there. And it's still in the process of getting to the digital stores, but you can be notified. Go to my Instagram and see the new single. It's called A Lullaby. And this is a song that my mom taught me when she was, well, maybe I'll let that story for next week. And it's a little teaser. So it's a special story about that song. And so go into my Instagram. I released a new song called A Lullaby, composed by me. It's an original single. So go out there and get all my music. You can get all my music online by searching me as you can search by Neni Carolina Chacin in any of the digital music stores, and you can find some of the songs that we did here, Love Is All, and I believe some of My Funny Valentine and everything. So you can go in there and find all the music that have the originals, the cover songs, jazz and gospel music. And if you want to have some of my books on Amazon, on Kindle, and paperback, you can have it. This is a photography book. If you go to my Instagram post, you can see the latest flower. I planted the flower from the seed, and I got this beautiful thing. You cannot imagine. So beautiful. And I'm so happy about that picture. Maybe I can show it to you right here. This is a beautiful song. I'm sorry, not the song, yes. The flower. This is the flower. See here on Instagram, maybe you can't see it, but this is the beautiful flower that I grew from the seed. It opens and it actually closes at night. It's like the most amazing thing. I couldn't believe it. I was like waiting. I see it growing, and there's so many different flowers. Anyway, I love flower photography. And I did one special one this morning. I love and this is my cooking book, Neni's Healthy and Fast Cooking, that I printed while I was living in Paris. So I hope you can get the books online. Stay tuned. Hello, Velody. Stay tuned for the special show that I have with Velody, like I said. The single that I released. Still go to Instagram to check the new single. And I see you next week. Thank you so much for watching. If you're watching the replay, thank you so much. And à la prochaine. À la semaine prochaine. Okay, bye-bye. Bisous, bisous.